Why is Amazon paying me $20,000? Well, I didn't make this kind of money selling yoga mats.
I have received mercy from the Lord, so much mercy I cannot quantify. I have received redemption from the Lord, so much redemption I cannot quantify. I have received forgiveness from the Lord, so much forgiveness I cannot quantify. So I now return to show my gratitude. I give you my silver, that is not enough. I give you my gold, that is not enough. I give you my diamond, even that is not enough. The sacrifice of God is a loving and a humble heart, a faithful heart, a contrite heart, forgiving heart. God will not ignore the sacrifice of God. It's a loving and a humble heart. Almighty God, the Lord of my salvation, you are so great, I cannot quantify. You are the master of the universe, you are the ruler of all the nations, you are endless in glory, I cannot quantify. Your redemption has paid for everything. The price is incomparable, I cannot quantify. So I now return to show my gratitude. I give you my silver, that is not enough. I give you my gold, that is not enough. I give you my diamond, even that is not enough. The sacrifice of God is a loving and a humble heart, a faithful heart, a contrite heart, forgiving heart. God will not ignore the sacrifice of God. He's a loving and a humble heart. So I now return to show my gratitude. I give you my silver, that is not enough. And I give you my gold, that is not enough. I give you my diamond, even that is not enough. The sacrifice of God is a loving and a humble heart, a faithful heart, a contrite heart, forgiving heart. God will not ignore the sacrifice of God. It's a loving and a humble heart. I see a loving and a humble heart. It's a loving and a humble heart. It's a loving and a humble heart. I say a loving and a humble heart. When you bring up offering, it's a loving and a humble heart. I say a loving and a humble heart. When you bring up offering, it's a loving and a humble heart. I say a loving and a humble heart. When you bring up offering, it's a loving and a humble heart.
Hello, 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 hello. Thank you guys so much for listening to the music. I always like to start with something very good to inspire the children. I always like to do that to inspire all of us here. You know, the sacrifice of God, it's more than a humble heart. So that means God has given us too much that sometimes we take it for granted, that sometimes we don't even recognize it. Sometimes we are those who repel those things away from us because we don't even take the time to recognize the things that God is giving us. And is He going to come to us physically? No. He gives them to us through the people, through you guys, through all of us here, through Mr. Ashmufare. So this is what it means. We have to start calling in those things that we are thinking about for tomorrow. 1 year from now, we have to start calling them in as though they are already here. That means we need to start prophesying on our children, blessing our children, giving the greatest things to God to give it to our children. That is so important. That is the only way that we can truly be happy with ourselves, when we really know that we appreciate even the slightest of thing that somebody does. Even if the person doesn't do it, they don't have to. Just the fact that we are present here for one another without saying a word, that speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. Silence speaks volume. We are present. We are doing something, even if we are not talking. So nobody should feel less important. Nobody should to make their children feel less important or less qualified because they are not saying something. I want to cover my feet. It's cold here. I always like to just cover my feet because it's so cold. Sorry about that. It's cold today a lot. So it is just so beautiful that we look for ways, always. And a lot of you guys are doing that. You see the emojis, you see the little hearts, the little kisses, the unicorn, all kinds of things. Those are the little ways that matters. Those are the priceless things that a lot of people take for granted. So how are you guys doing this morning or this night or this evening? Wherever you're tuning in from, how are you guys doing? I will always like to know that you guys are doing right. You're doing okay, that nobody is sick. Otherwise, we all need to know if somebody is not doing well, right? We need to know, and we need to encourage that person. We need to pray for that person. We want to make sure that everybody is doing well, because when you're well, your wellness becomes your wealth. When you're well, you're happy. Because if you're not well, there is really no need to be here, right? Like I will always say, because when we come here, we know that we are well, we are doing well, our families, our children are doing well, and then we can come here and then we can contribute even better so that we can reach those kids that don't have people to care for them. That is exactly what it means. Just like our CEO says, let us focus on ourselves first. Because when you focus on yourself, your cup is so full, it starts running over. Now you can start shifting to other people. So focus on yourself first, because charity begins at home. Very, very important. So how many of you attended the Anchor 360 today where Mr. Ashmufara came? I know I did, but I didn't attend from the beginning, because when we are done with these webinars, what I do is, I copy the names of new people so that I can give a shout out to them. If I can locate them on the internet, I will give a shout out to them. So I was copying those names, and then thereafter I wanted to do some dishes to help my mom, so I did that. So what did you guys do? How was your day? We always like to know about our days. Maybe we can learn one or two things from one another, or maybe we can just encourage ourselves, right? That is life. Simple, in very simple terms. Not complicating life, right? Yes, yes, yes. The chat is Nancy says, oh my God, the chat is on fire. It is on fire because Mr. Ash Mufara is on fire. I will tell you what I learned today again, because he emphasized a lot today. You know, he says, okay, by the way, I want to say happy birthday to all of those who were born on the leap year. You know, the leap year comes after every 4 years, and today is the 29th. So those of you who were born today, happy birthday, which means you're so special because your birthday comes just once in 4 years, right? And those of you who got engaged on this day, and those who even proposed to whom they are married to, or those of you who even dated, those of you who did something spectacular on this day, I just wish you guys the very best, because you guys are special. Something that comes once in a blue moon. Oh my God, when that thing comes, everybody's so excited. So thank you so much. And I want to thank you all so much, because without you, I will not be here. Without you, we will not be able to reach every child. And I take this very seriously. I take it very seriously because I have been to the lowest end of children that went through difficulties. And so I know, and that's why I am so much on fire, just like you guys are on fire there. Know that I'm also on fire. Sometimes I wake up at night because something just flashed through my mind, and I know that it is God speaking to me, or my grandmother is speaking to me. I just get up, because I sleep with books beside my bed. So I get up and I write it down very quickly so I don't forget, because this is how it comes to me, so that I begin to figure out what we're doing with the children. So this is very important. You know, let's focus on this. So I learned during the Anchor 360 today, where Mr. Ash was present, he says, the only reason I am here is because I made a commitment to myself to do it or I die. Do you hear that? The only reason, he said today repeatedly, and he's been repeating this thing over and over, which means he has to do it and do it well and succeed and continue to do it, because his life depends on building the future. This is so important. So he's doing it, and we don't have to go through a lot of the things that he's going through with the building team, right? So our own here is to gather into these little webinars, or our own initiatives, and carry out the name of Unpassive and Mr. Ash Mufara, so that this is what is going to fuel him to do it, gather the momentum, to know that he would do it, give him the energy. And all of this comes from Almighty God and nobody else. So the only reason I am here is because I made a commitment to myself to do it or I die. And then he says again that if Unpassive was a country, listen to this very well. If Unpassive was a country, right, it will be the largest country. Remember that. That means a lot. It's so loaded. And I'm going to bring this statement so that we can work on it in one of the webinars. If Unpassive was a country, it will be the largest country. And if it was a country, it will have the largest populated, it will be the largest populated country. So if it was a country, it would be the biggest, the largest country ever. And if it was a country, it will have the highest population. You can imagine that. We just think this is just something. It is loaded with a lot of things that has to do with impacting humanity, changing the dynamics of how children, how people are going through a lot of challenges. Meanwhile, we have a lot in the world. People have been asking a lot, why is Africa so poor? I'm saying that because I come from Africa and I know what I'm talking about. Why is Africa so rich, yet it is so poor? Why is Africa feeding the whole world, yet it is so poor? We have all the minerals, we have everything, yet it is so poor. But we know what is going on in the world, right? And so that is why together with leading the way, we are going to make it better for children. Children don't deserve to go through all of this because of the greed, because of the power, because of the ego of some people. They think they have to take everything, hoard it to themselves, forgetting to know that they're going to die tomorrow. If you die without helping people with what you have, what you're hoarding, what else is there? Nothing, right? That is why we want to make sure that we follow Mr. Ashmufara and do what he is doing so that we can change the dynamics and the rhetoric of the world. So, and then what did he say again? Okay, the one thing he said again, let me just read the whole of this. If it was a country, it will have the largest populated country. It will be the best country. We will be the biggest and with the best people. The best people, which these are the best people. We are the best people because we are the largest world family doing things for humanity from our hearts, like our CEO is doing and saying. And then the one thing you can never recycle is time, because time is precious. Time is of essence. Time is given equally to everyone. Nobody can ever complain that I don't have time. I used to say I don't have time, but I learned from my mentors to change that mindset, because we all have time. There will be no need to say we don't have time. That means we are saying things that we don't understand. Everybody has time. Instead of saying I don't have time, when somebody asks you to do something, we can just say, right now I am focusing on something very important. When I'm done, then I can come. So I learned to do that. And I also learned to teach my son not to say that, and my family. So it's so important. So Mr. Ashmufara was very happy today. And, it takes a while to build a business like the one that he's building. And he has even gone a long way. Look at those who are already in the market, those who didn't even start from scratch, but yet they are failing every day. What they're taking from us, exorbitant amount of money for low quality, but he is here for quality. So now, having said that, I would like to know how your day went. So just keep putting it in the chat there, because it's good to ask one another. One of the things that kills a lot of people that I know all over the world, especially in this country, is loneliness. Nobody pays attention to them. Nobody even care to ask them how they are doing. You just get up. You don't even know where your neighbor is, or you don't even know how your neighbor is doing. You just get up and go. But I come from a village where everybody belongs to everybody else in the village. Everybody knows where everybody is. Everybody knows whether everybody is well or they are sick or what is happening. We know it because we, as a village, we come together as one to nurture, to raise, and to love every child. And that is how we live. And so, when I was in the university in Cameroon, and one of my mentors was from the state of Indiana here in the United States. And she was supposed to be on a contract in Cameroon teaching at the university where I attended for 2 years. So when the 2 years were over, guess what happened? She refused to come back to the United States. Why did she refuse? She loved the culture. Now she began to learn the language. She began to dress up like our culture. Now she even where she was renting, she was surprised that every morning people will come and knock at her door to find out if she was okay, if she slept well. They brought her food. Very hospitable, very kind people. Someday you guys can follow me to Cameroon and you will see what I'm talking about. And they even gave her a home free because she was new. And now, when the contract was over, she refused to come back to the United States. She renewed the contract, then renewed it again, and they refused to renew it. Guess what she did? She decided to become a citizen of Cameroon. She bought land. She built her own home, and now she integrated herself into the community. So the children wanted her to come back home. She refused. She refused. Now the children go to Cameroon. They go and visit. They go and do. I hope you guys are hearing me. Let me make sure that the volume is okay. Let me make sure here. Oh no, the volume was down. I'm sorry. I hope you guys were hearing me. The volume was way down. I'm really sorry. Did you guys hear me though? The volume was really down. I'm sorry about that. Okay, yes. If you guys were hearing me, just say yes. You were hearing me in the chat. Somebody can just say yes, and I will know if you guys were hearing me, please. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Ruth. Thank you so much. I'm beginning to feel a little bit guilty that I did not check my volume. Okay. Thank you so much for doing that. So she integrated. She's in Cameroon. She retired in Cameroon. I'm sure she's still in Cameroon, but I lost contact with her. I did not know where the contact information was anymore. But she was a very good woman. She said, "How is it that you guys are writing things only from your head?" And she was giving us like A's. The professors were not happy. They said, "No, don't give these kids A's. You have to give them C's." So we work really hard. Education. You got to read. You got to write a thesis. You got to do a lot of things. But in the United States, education is much, much more simpler. They make it so simple that kids don't have to overstrain their brain. The books are already there. The textbooks are there. Information is there. But now with technology, high technology, everything is at the fingertips of everyone. Until now, I can go anywhere on the computer and do what I need to do. So thank you guys so much for being here. And tomorrow is O Connect. We are going to be on O Connect tomorrow. If you can, please tune in. Mr. Raj Damoda from India, this young man is on fire. He is on fire. He said, "Yvonne, I'm going to bring all my entourage. I'm going to bring all my crowd." You know, he has a very large following. And he is going to bring everyone. He says, we need to nurture these children together. And after that, I think he's going to be one of the youngest people to take a position. He works in education. So he's one of the educators of our children. And so it is so exciting that he's coming to us tomorrow. So let's come and hear from him. And the topic, towards the end, I will let you guys know what the topic for tomorrow is going to be, so that we all can get excited and motivated. But he's always a very inspirational man. He talks, he speaks sense. He talks and he really speaks sense. He doesn't just talk. So if you guys can tune in tomorrow, please do so on O Connect. All right, let's dive into our theme of discussion for today. But I want to thank you all so much for being here, motivating me and inspiring me. Thank you so much. I was hoping that somebody would come to this panel with me. Come on, somebody can jump. Every now and then, just jump onto the panel here and let us be here together instead of being here by myself. So thank you. So we are in the series, Mindset series number 14. Mindset series number 14. Those of you who were born today, listen very well. Or if you got married, or you got engaged, or you got proposed to, or you were dating your girlfriend, this is a good day for you. So listen very well, because I don't know why things just seem to fall in place, because the theme for today is decision. So Mindset series number 14, decision seems to be the first step to achieving goals and dreams. How so? Begin to put your response in the chat so that we can come back to it and we get educated with your own too, so that we can exchange ideas, right? We are here to exchange things so that we can do it together and become the largest country in the world, like Mr. Ashmo Farah said today, right? Or the largest family. So decision seems to be the first step to achieving goals and dreams for our children. How so? Okay, I always like to begin with a quote. It is your moment of decision that your destiny is shaped. It is in your moment of decision that your destiny is shaped. That means When you take a decision, know that you are taking that decision, it is going to shape your destiny. Just taking it. You have to think about it very well. Think about it, weigh the pros and cons, know what you're going to do. But that is not to say you don't take that decision, because what decision that you've taken, it means you're taking a decision on something that you love, something that you cherish, something that is going to impact humanity, something that is going to do a lot for yourself, your family, your children, and your community. Then you make that decision, because no matter what comes your way, you are going to still do it, just like Mr. Ashmafara is doing. That is, either I do it or I die. So when you make that decision, that is exactly what it means. And like me, this is a do or die for me, because I am the only survivor of what happened to young girls. Even my little sister, the only one, passed. And so I said, you know what? I will do this for the rest of my life. I was working, serving the corporate America. So I decided not to work anymore, to focus on this, because time waits for no one. As we are wasting time, there are children that are starving. There are children that are being abused. There are children that are being trafficked across the Atlantic Ocean for sex trafficking. There are children that are not going to school. There are children that are eating from the garbage. There are children that don't even have what to wear, and even in the appropriate dressing for the weather. So many, we know these things, we see them, but let us not pay a deaf ear or a blind eye to those situations, because to do that is going against humanity. It's a crime against humanity, and therefore against God, who created us all. So let us begin to do something. So it is in your moment of decision that your destiny is shaped. When the second one is when your values are clear to you, when they are very clean and clear in your heart, when you know what you're doing, when they are clean and clear to you, making decisions becomes easier. So we don't just make decisions. What are we making decisions on? And why are we making those decisions in the first place? And what are we going to gain out of making those decisions? They have to be so clear before you make that decision, because when you make it, it looks like you're signing a contract with God, who created you, to do it, and do it the way God wants you to do it, right? Do it selflessly. Do it like your life depends on it, because it does. If we don't do it that way, then we're not going to be happy ourselves in lives, right? Because a lot of people think that it's about me, 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 me. No, it is not like that. In this life, if you want something so bad, if you really want something so bad and a good thing to happen to you and your family, you have to step out of yourself. You have to step out of your way and begin to give those things to other people, not people that you know. You can give it to family members, but you have to go into the community. You can go onto the street and look at the beggars on the street. You give it to them. You can go to restaurants. You go to areas where there are kids that are begging for food, or people. You go to that restaurant, you leave your card in that restaurant. You leave money on there. Incognito. Incognito means you don't want somebody to know you, that you did it, because you're doing goodness. You don't want to announce it, because God says don't announce things that you do. Just do it from the goodness of your heart and let it go. Don't tell people, oh, look at me, I did this, I did that. That's not the way it is. Just leave your card there. Instruct the restaurant people, the restaurant workers, that I'm leaving this card here. Any child, all of these children or these people that are begging in this area, please call them in to come and eat. And they need to sit on those chairs, not because they are dirty or they are beggars. Then we say, no, we can't eat in the same restaurant with them. That's wrong. Those are human beings like us. Just think about it. What if you had put yourself in that position? If you were in that position, or your child was in that position, what are you going to do? So we have to embrace everyone, so long as they are not dangerous, that they can hurt us or hurt themselves or hurt other people. We embrace everyone, because we don't know what happened that they are placed in that situation. We don't judge, we just help, right? That's the best thing to do. Look at Mr. Ashmafara. He extended help to us. He didn't know that there were people among us that were going to be giving him a headache, Did he know? He didn't know. But he thought about it. He made that with the dream that God has put in him and decided to do what he's doing. And he's paying the price along the way, paying money for things that we are doing that we are not supposed to be doing. He's doing a lot of things. So let us be patient with everything that we are doing. Let us be patient when we are taking that decision. Let us be patient with who we are going to be working with. Let us be patient, because guess what? You might think that, you know what? Nobody's seeing it. We human beings might not see it, but guess what? Everything that we do, God sees it, even when you're doing it in hiding. So why don't we do the right thing openly and not announcing about it, not judging people about it? Let us do that. So that is so important. So what is the meaning of decision then? What do you think is the meaning of decision? Begin to put your contribution in the chat, because this is, you remember, 1.4 million founders, Mr. Ashmafara says we have to work together, because you have something that I don't have. I also have something that you don't have. And when we bring our gift and our talents together, things begin to rumble, begin to boil up, and then they begin to expand, they begin to grow with quality. And this is what we're going to be doing with our children, right? So begin to put the meaning of decision. What does decision mean to you? Put it in the chat there. So a decision is a choice made between different options or courses of action. It is a choice that we make between different options or courses of action. And those decisions usually are dependent upon the gift that God has put within us. Remember that we are born with different gifts. We don't just sit and say, I want to do that. It's already in us. Some of us might not have realized that because we don't know, but we have to believe in our parents. We have to believe in our grandparents. We have to believe in our mentors. We have to believe like in our visionaries, like Mr. Ashmafara, who believes in us to bring us in until our own belief can kick in later on, and then we know what we want. And we don't know, we can ask. We can ask, and there is always just simply carrying out a conversation with somebody, we will know what God has put within them to do, even their action. That is why we say we have to be so honest. We have to practice integrity, empathy, sympathy, sensitivity. When we practice all those things, it is so easy to find out what God has put in you to do. Or if you still don't know, because for some reason or the other, some people are unable to do that, and we don't blame them, then we can carry out a conversation with them. Eventually, we will know what they want. And that is why we always say, watch your child from the cradle, from the time you are pregnant with that child. When the child starts moving in your womb, start talking to that child. When the child is born, start when you are breastfeeding your child, the mother or the father. You need to know what your child is gravitating towards, moving towards something. You will realize that later on in school, in middle school, high school, that child, you already know what that child wants. You already know the gift that God gave that child. And that is what me and my husband, we did. That's what we did, So this is very, very important that we start doing those things for our children. So decision involves selecting one option from among several alternatives based on factors such as preferences, priority, right? What is that thing going to do to you? Are you just doing it just so you can satisfy your parents or satisfy your friends or your family? What is it going to do to you? Why are you picking what you're picking? Why do you take a decision to take what you want to choose? Why? You have to ask yourself those questions before you take them. And they also depend on your values. What are your values? What are your family values? What did your parents teach you? What are you teaching your children? It depends on the values, your goals, and your dreams. We realize that our young people, they have a lot of goals and dreams, and a lot of them are carrying those goals and dreams out. Because why? They learn from us. They saw us, the parents, doing it, and we are teaching them every day, and we are practicing it every day, and then they too, they do it. It also depends on information. Information can come from going to school. Information can come from our parents. Information can come from mentors. Information can come from the books that we are reading. Because remember, Learning is a lifelong process. Never you just stop and say, this is it. I have arrived at my destination. We have not yet arrived at any destination, because our destination will only come to an end when we take our last breath on this earth. Otherwise, we have to continue to do good. To do good first to ourselves, our children, our families, our villages, and our communities. And then we move outside to the entire world. And that is why we are here from Mr. Ashmufari. Very, very important. We need to know all of these things, And then a lot of things, some things can just download to you from your dreams. You can begin to take your decision based on what you're dreaming. A lot of times those dreams are true. To me, a lot of times my dreams come true. I would dream about something. Sometimes it's so confusing. But what I do is I just pray to God. I say, God, I had this dream, but I remember patches of the dream. I don't know how to stitch it together. What I do is I just pray to God and say, God, please let me know what this dream is all about. A lot of times things fall in place if you're doing things with the fear of the one who created you. If you're doing things out of love for your children, for yourself, for other people, you're not doing things out of spite, out of envy, out of jealousy. If you set those things aside, a lot of times when you listen to the still small voice within you, that is God talking to you. Even sometimes the wind is whispering in your ears. You're walking, the wind is whispering. The trees that are whispering, the wind is there. Listen to it very well. That is all nature. It's speaking something to you. Just listen to yourself and teach your children to listen to themselves and let them communicate freely what their dream or what they want to say without shutting them off or shutting them down. So why do you think making a decision is important for young people and children? Let us put our answers in the chat. Remember, I like interaction so much. It's good to interact. So let us begin to put it there. Why do you think making decision on whatever you're going to make your decision on, or whatever you're going to teach your child to make a decision on? Because when we are saying this thing about children, we cannot separate children from the parents. These two have to go together. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And that's why when we say one global movement is going to be helping children, you cannot help the child without helping the mother. Otherwise, that child is going to go back to the same spot. You cannot help the child without helping the parents or the caregivers or the adults around these children. Otherwise, that child is going to go back to the same spot, right? So we got to do this together. Very important. So making decision, be it for your toddler or your 15-year-old, your 18-year-old, or for yourself, or even for your parents, because sometimes we have to make decisions for our parents as well, because they might not know what they're doing, right? And that's why we need to know ourselves so well to know how we can help our families, our children, our parents, our grandparents. We need to know. We need to know how we can go into the community to help. You're driving, passing an area all the time. You're seeing people that are begging, and you're just driving. You need to know that community. Because guess what? You're driving in the car that was manufactured by somebody else. You're driving on a road that was constructed by somebody else. You didn't construct that road. So everything that we utilize in life, we have to give credit to those people that came before us. They might not be here for us to credit them, but when we credit them in prayer, God knows. And this is how God blesses people who do things like that. Like, I have a lot to credit you guys for, but someday what I will do is I will meet you guys. I will give you guys a hug. I will cook for you guys. I right now, what I can do is to pray, because a lot of things you guys are doing here, sometimes I just sit and cry in happiness, because I think about the prophecy of my grandmother, the prayers and the mantle of hope from my grandmother, that take this mantle, go and bless every woman and every child. Because when you bless a woman, you must have blessed all the parents, the fathers, and everybody that is included in that family. And that God has lined your path with people that will help you cross. And today I am seeing it. I am living it because you guys are here. You descended from Mr. Ash Mufare, and we all are here. This is what it really means. So, number one, the importance of decision is it builds confidence. Do you know, like I would take example from my son, because my son is the kind that, like you see me, I used to feel very guilty that I wasn't helping my child with homework. Since from beginning from Head Start. Head Start is about 2-3 years. And he would not let me do anything at all. I felt guilty. But what I was doing is trying to read with him, read novels and read bedtime stories and do other things. But since my son started school, until now that he's 22 in university, I never help him do any homework because he will always do his own things. And he doesn't like, he will do his research, he does his own thing. Isn't that a gift? I used to feel very guilty. So when kids do those things by themselves, they are very confident, very, very confident. It builds in them self-confidence. And if we even, that's why you see, there is one song that says, teach the children what to do and let them lead the way. Don't just teach them and still you're trying to control them on what to do. Let them use their own natural capability and capacity to do what God has put in them. Because in the end, we're going to come back to the same point, because there are so many ways to come to the same solution, right? So that is why we have so many products in Unpassive, because we're going to come to one and the same solution. And this is what we should be doing with our children. When children are involved in decision making or decision making processes, they gain confidence in their abilities to think critically. They think critically and make sound choices. We have to let them get involved in whatever we're doing for them or whatever they want to do. Even though we are the parents, we are paying for the tuition, we are feeding them, we are housing them. That doesn't mean that we have to suppress them. We have to let them get involved. Remember, a lot of kids around the world, they are crying for all inclusion because some areas they discriminate upon children. They don't want to get children included in everything because they think that, oh, I have all this money. My family is rich. My family comes from, we are descended from very rich families, or we have our money. We don't want to associate with the poor children. That is wrong. That is wrong. You can never be happy with your money, with your wealth, with your riches, if we are doing things like that. So it is so important. So this confidence can carry over into various aspects of their lives. When a child, remember, when you take a decision to do something, it builds in you confidence. The same thing with the child. That confidence doesn't just end only with that one thing that that child is taking a decision in or building confidence in. It will spread out to other areas of their life. So number two, we have developing responsibility. When children are involved in decision making, they now know that they're responsible. They now know that there are consequences for making a decision. Not just consequences doesn't mean bad consequences, good consequences. And bad consequences is when things don't go right, which we might think is failure and we feel discouraged. No, that's not the case. If you gain something from something, also know that that thing might not always work. It's just like business. Sometimes the business is up and sometimes it is down. Sometimes we are up and sometimes we are down, because there is a saying that there is nothing that is at the ground that will not take off if that thing wants to take off. And you cannot go thinking that, oh, I will be at the top of the world. Sometimes you will come down, because life is a fluctuation. It fluctuates. That is how life is, you know. So we need to get used to that. And that, oh, it looks like somebody's here to come with me here. Let me see. Oh, AP is always trying to come. They will need to connect the microphone before you can add them to the stream. I'm sorry, AP. Your microphone might need to be connected, because I see you, but there's no way for me to add you to the stream. Let us keep working on that, and eventually we'll get it right. Or you can call some of these young people, their brains are ticking, tick, tick, tick. They can come and help you, right? That's what I do. If I can't figure it out, that's what I ask for help from my son. So it is so important. Develop responsibility, and then enhances critical thinking. We already talked about that. It enhances critical thinking in children when they make decisions. My son makes decision. I always say my son, not because my son is the best, but I think he's the best for me because he makes decision and he takes the consequences for his decision. You know, when we let children, if we are trying to prevent children from taking decision because we are afraid that they might fail and the money will get lost, guess what? You are preventing that child from growing. Because if you prevent that child from taking the decision now and also going through the consequences in the future, they're going to miss a step and you will see them, they will retrace their steps to go back to that point that you made them to miss. Let children fail and learn, because failure is a learning curve for all of us. So we need to normalize failure. We know that we are spending money. Children learn when we spend that money, because we need to spend more than 85% of our resources on our children, right? So that they can come out good. So it enhances critical thinking. So it also fosters independence. When a child, I used to be so worried that I don't know how my son is going to stay out of state to go to school. And he said, Mommy, I was so sick. I was even crying. I said, Lord, help me. I don't know how my son is going to leave, because all along he's lived at home until high school. And I said, Lord, help me. I don't know how this child is going to survive. He said, Mommy, I'm a big boy now. That's what he told me. Do not worry. I will survive exactly the way the other kids are surviving. I am a big boy. And he is. He's out of state. He cooks his own meals. He does his own things. He even he does better planning. So that is what we need to do. We pray for them, we teach them the right way, and let them take control and lead the way, because they have to find their identity. When they find their identity, they lead the way, they become very, very independent, and they have that self-confidence that they can do things for themselves without depending on their parents. And in turn, they will be apt to do it for other people. So decision also encourages creativity. We are born with so many gifts, not just one. Sometimes when you're done with this gift, God brings another one to you. We have so many gifts within us. So when we teach our children to take decisions or make decisions and focus on those decisions by doing it ourselves, not just saying they should do it because we are the parent. No, doing it ourselves, this encourages creativity. You see, that's why they're so smart. Their brains are so spongy. They can grab this one, do this, do this. When I asked my son to teach me something on the computer, he would just come click it, click it. I said, no, Papa, please wait. I call my son Papa. That's our culture. I said, wait, please. Do not click so fast. Then you say, Mommy, get a book. Get a book. I will write down the steps for you. I said, let me write the step myself so I will understand it. So now I have a book for him. He teaches me, I write things down. I am the mother, right? Somebody will think, oh, but you are a mom. You're supposed to know. No, those kids, they know more than us. That's why we need to we need to start very young. The very first 5 years of a child's life. That is when it starts. But we have to guide them through so that they don't get into dangerous things. Like you see the sockets, the electrical sockets on the wall. We need to buy things to plug them up, because these children, they like to experiment. That's how they learn how to make those decisions. That's how they learn to know that this thing hurts. I don't want to touch it anymore. You see that? Very, very important. I'll tell you a very funny story. I take my son back to Cameroon, and he really is so much, he loves his cousins a lot. He's a family child. And so he likes to send things to Cameroon. And according to our culture, when you work your first salary, you present it to your parents to bless it. And then you also give some to your uncles and your aunties so that they can bless you. That's our culture. And so he did that. But here's one thing. When he's buying his stuff, or when I buy things for him, I always say, Mommy, let us buy things for my cousins in Cameroon. I do that. And some of his backpacks, sometimes he has about 2, 3, or 4 backpacks. He will keep them. So I took him to Cameroon. And this boy was all over the place. I was scared that he was going to pick up a snake or something, because kids born in the United States, they like to play with animals. I will follow him everywhere. Children are so pure, so clean, so loving, so kind. We got to the village. I wanted him to experience what children in the village are experiencing and what I went through. I was pooping in the pit toilet, and I walked barefoot. And I carried water on my head. I went to the farm and I carried things on my head. I still love it. So I thought this boy was going to cry to say, Mommy, let's go back home. He didn't. He was so much with those children. He would just go 4 hours. I would be searching for him in the village. He will go and he will come back. I said, don't go anymore. He said, Mommy, I know my way around my village. This is my village. I descended from this village. And my friends are here and my cousins. This boy got so used to, but this is what happened. He came to pooping time. There was a flushing system, but I did not want him to use the flushing system. So he can also learn to poop on the pit toilet like the other kids in the village, like I did. I put him there. He said, oh no, Mommy, I don't want to poop. The maggots, Mommy, the maggots. I don't want. It was so funny that everybody was laughing. We were laughing. So I hold him. I said, poop. He said, no, I can't. I let him go and I poop. I said, look at me. But it took me some time too, because it's been a while that I haven't pooped in the pit toilet. It took me some time. But here's what happened. 2 days, my son did not poop. And I'm like, this child is going to die. I wanted him to really get that experience of other children. But then I let him use the flushing system. So, these are things that we have to let children do it to the level where they can do it. And if they cannot do it, we let it go and let them do it their own way. So it's very important. So decision also promotes communication skills. Because when they are taking that decision, they're learning to also communicate. It builds self-awareness. Making decisions requires self-awareness. You have to be aware of why you are making that decision. You teach the child. Ask them, oh, wow, I love what you've just written down. I love the decision that you've made. Can I please know why you're making the decision? Because you're not just asking, you're really, really asking because you want to show interest in that child. Because you want to know why. Sometimes you can even learn for yourself. The reason why he's going to give you might just be what is going to help you in your own decision making, right? So we ask them. They will explain it to you. And we cannot just do that until we start very young. Because if you start just yelling at your child, making your child feel uncomfortable, making your child being afraid, they're not going to say anything. They'll just do it quietly. And a lot of times they're going to hide things from you. And which means you caused it for them. Any child that does not say things openly, we must have made them to feel that way. I mean, we the parents, and sometimes we don't blame the parents, because some of these children, the parents are not present in their life for one reason or the other. And some of them, they are moving from one foster home to the other. And when children move from one home to the other, the tendency is that they are not being loved and nurtured and trained well to be able to make decisions by themselves. So we need to also understand that about children. So we do it. Let's do it and let them see. And then we talk small, talk little. Don't talk, because when you talk too much, you don't understand anything. But we are doing that with love and kindness and appreciation. And also, even when we fail, we say, oh, I'm sorry, honey, I failed. And this, I think, let us do it all over. Let it not just be that because you're the parents or the caregivers, you cannot make mistakes. We want to make sure to normalize things so that they can also learn. So decision also prepares our children for adulthood. Of course, it does. When we allow them to take those decisions, it really prepares them for adulthood. So we all now know that involving our children and young people in decision-making processes and in whatever thing that they want to do in life, would let them make that decision. It gives them lots and lots of benefit, which is going to carry them on until adulthood, until they marry, until they start getting old, and then they start teaching their own children to as well. So it is so important that we do that. So let me start in the chat and see what you guys have written there. Okay, thank you guys so much. And hello, Kushal. Thank you so much. I sent all the links to you for tomorrow's O Connect. If you can share the, especially the attendee ones, except somebody who wants to come to the panel that wants to speak. Okay, you can share it. But Yes, I sent it to you. And I also sent it to James Rafiki. Thank you so much. And you're saying hello to Bernard Sagma. Welcome to hashtag One Global Movement. Hashtag Speak with Heart. I'm dumping things around here. Okay. Now we have our sister, Sharon. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my beautiful sister. She is doing a lot of things in the background. A lot of graphics, beautiful graphics. She has an idea. And remember, she has had experience with children for more than 30 years. Very, very important. And I'm glad that she is part of One Global Movement so that together we'll do the best. Thank you so much. We are the unicorn, right? We love you. And hashtag One Global Movement, Pushpin Media. And our brother DS Nayak is in the house. Hello, brother DS Nayak. How are you? Thank you so much. You guys are doing so wonderful to attend this thing twice a day. Thank you guys so much. There is nothing I can do but to say thank you. Let us keep doing this to help our children, especially when those apples start raining down on us. This is what we're going to do. We'll take it and run with it to all children of the world, especially One Global Movement, because there's a special account. This account is only for children of the world. Ruth, how are you? Thank you so much, sister, for being here. We love you. Thank you so much. And we have Bonshua, how are you? Thank you so much. Yes, we all love Unpassive because we are the soldiers of Unpassive, right? Yes, we are the soldiers of Unpassive. And you guys are already saying hello to everyone here. So I will let it be that way so that you guys can read and reply to one another. And we have Juanita. Juanita, I always say Juanita. Juanita, how are you? Thank you so much for being here, sister. Thank you. And good evening, good night, she says to all of us here. We love you. And thank you for the ping hand. And Kushal is always welcoming all of us here. Thank you so much, especially when the fellow panelists and John Barilla is not here. He is always doing that. Thank you. Ruth says hashtag One Global Movement, hashtag Unpassive. Yes, yes. Because Unpassive was built for the future, and the future are the children. We thank Mr. Ash Mufara so much because little did he know that he was doing it for this 11-year-old girl who is now a big woman that was looking for ways to help young people and children. I am really so grateful to God. Hello, everyone from Sharon Pushpin Media, Ballyhoo, hashtag One Global Movement Family. Yes, thank you so much for those beautiful emojis. And Juanita is saying hashtag One Global Movement, always inspiring, encouraging topics. Yes, because these things focus on simple things that are natural, that we're supposed to be doing them every day. But thank you guys so much because you guys are also inspiring to me to do this thing. Otherwise, I would not be able to do it. And I love Nancy is always dancing there. Look at thank you so much, Nancy. How is my daughter and my son doing, Nancy? Say hello to them. And if you can keep encouraging them, we need them to come and speak here someday, okay? They can come to the 1 p.m. one. If they don't want the 8 p.m. one, they can come at 1 p.m. because we need those young people. We need to really sit back and listen to them talk. Listen to them. They can say anything. Nothing is bad at all. Nothing is little. They can come here. They can speak because One Global Movement is for them, right? We need to do that for our children. I'm just want to making sure that I don't miss anybody or some long comments here. One Global Movement, the chat is on fire. Our brothers and sisters are happy to be here in One Global Movement. Yes, they are happy, Nancy. Thank you so much. They are really on fire. That's why they are here twice a day, because they know what they want to do in the world. They have a clear-cut decision. They have a clarity of mind and heart and everything that they want to do. That's why we are here. Otherwise, we'll not be here for any reason, right? And I think Mr. Ash Mufara is really going to like this. I'm well. My family is well, so we are blessed. Yes, thank you. Thank you. And I just always like to find out about you guys, how you guys are doing. We have Lucy, my mommy Lucy. How are you? That's my mother's name. I love you, Lucy. Thank you so much for being here. And Okay. And Kushal says, hello, Lucy Dauba. Welcome to hashtag One Global Movement. Hashtag Speak with Heart. Hashtag Defeat Hunger. Hashtag Defeat Illiteracy. Hashtag Defeat Poverty. Hashtag Build Generational Wealth. Right? We got to do that. And we have Shekar. How are you? You are with us this afternoon and you are here again. We highly appreciate you. Keep coming and encourage other people. Spread the gospel of One Global Movement so that we can reach every household and see how and what we can do to help children worldwide. Okay. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, loud and clear. You guys were hearing me. Hello, Levi. How are you? We're going to play our music. Let me get my phone and start manipulating. My phone is not very good, but yeah, we will do something about it. And we have Nancy says, decision is the first step to achieve your goal. Everyone could be helping, but if you don't step in, you are not getting anywhere. Very true. That would be the very first step because you have to take the leap of faith. You must take the leap of faith. Just take it. Wherever you land yourself, you will keep going from there. Fail your way to success, like my grandmother always told me. Take that leap of faith and fail your way to success. Because when you're failing on the way, you're learning as well. And then you eventually get to where you want to be, right? And Sharon says, what is this? Sharon, I don't. Oh, is this hawks? I don't know how to read those emojis, but they look beautiful. Show hashtag One Global Movement. Some love. Give a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, share and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss a show. And put the likes, the thumbs up, right? Thank you so much, Sharon, for reminding me. Do one thing at a time will help you take clear decisions without being distracted. Yep. One thing at a time. Don't try to do too many things and then you end up ruining it, and don't do it with quality. You want to be able to do one thing at a time so that you can give it quality, right? Yep. And we have Shekhar says, Kusha beg you, hello from Shekhar. And Nancy says, sometimes you make the right decision, sometimes you make the decision right. Really? That is true. Sometimes you make the right decision. Listen to that. Sometimes you make the right decision, and sometimes you make that decision right. You make it right, and when you don't make it right, you correct it, right? You still do it, and you learn, and you correct it. That is so wonderful. Thank you so much, Sharon. And hashtag One Global Movement. Tomorrow, Shekhar mega event. Yes, a mega event. Are you coming there? Is it the O Connect? We invite you, sir, to O Connect. The flyer is going to be in the back office tomorrow by the time you get there. And hello, my queens and kings. Nancy is welcoming everyone here. And AP, I'm really sorry that we let us have somebody to help you with your microphone so that you can meet me on stage here. That would be wonderful. Thank you. I have seen some new people with us tonight. If you are new, we are welcome. You are welcome to One Global Movement. We are here for children. We want our children to be successful and be happy. Thank you so much, Nancy. Thumbs up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are almost done and we play our music, right? And just because a decision hurts doesn't mean that it was the wrong decision. Do what is best. Whatever you decide at that moment will affect the next moment in your life. Think before you act. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. And ABM says poverty and the circumstances affect the growth of children and parenting. Yes, it is true. It does. Poverty affects everything because imagine a father or a mother, a father who is not able to provide for the family, and a mother who is unable to cook because the resources to buy food is not there. They can't even grow their own food. Maybe they don't even have land. So poverty really affects everything. And together with Mr. Ash Mufara, we're going to be doing that. We're going to even be doing things, not just waiting for unpassive. We need to start doing things little by little, right? Yep. Hashtag One Global Movement is one of the best efforts to implement our loving CEO, great Mr. Ash Mufare. AP, that is so true. Thank you guys so much. And I think Mr. Ash Mufare really chose 1.4 million founders, more than all of us, if not all of us. We are getting there. We're growing every day, but we are supporting Mr. Ash Mufara 100%, so that he will steer us to the right direction, and together we will reach every child. So I am going to play our music. Is that okay? Or we should play it tomorrow? Say yes in the chat. It's just for about 2 minutes or so, and we're all done. Is that okay? Let me see a yes in the chat there.
20%. Connected
And then
to
I will do
Galaxy
that.
Note 10 and Galaxy Tab A2016 with S Pen.
Can I play it, guys? Okay, thank you, Ruth. Thank you. I'm going to play it now. I'm going to play We Can Make a Difference. That is very good for our young people and children. So we can make a difference. We can make a change. We can make a difference. We can make a change. Okay, here we go.
Becoming a transformational life coach is a sacred calling where you get to live your life's purpose.
If we really think everything's alright, yeah. This world is in need, cry out to be free. We gotta shed some light, oh, teach the world to smile. Feel the breath of God. It's time to come together, you and I, and share the love of Jesus Christ. We can make a difference. We can make a change. We can make the world a better place. We can make a difference. We can make a change. We can make the sun shine through the rain. Shine on through the rain. Do you know a man who's needing a hand? Don't you walk on by? Oh, hey, sister, said, lost all that she had. We gotta take the time. Look around your world. It's some of empty houses. God can feel the suffering through our hands. Find compassion, take a stand. We can make a difference. We can make a change. We can make the world a better place. We can make a difference. We can make a change. We can make the sun shine through the rain. Shine on through the rain. Teach the world to smile. Feel the breath of God. It's time to come together, you and I, and share the love of Jesus Christ. We can make a difference. We can make a change. We can make the world a better place. We can make a difference. We can make a change. We can make the sun shine through the rain. Shine
Okay, thank you guys so much. I'm just going to read a few lines because this is so meaningful. You know, it says here, this world is in need of crying out to be freed. We got to shed some light. We got to shed some light on this world because they are crying out to be free. Teach the world to smile. Let us teach our children to smile and hear angels sing, feel the breath of God. When we teach them how to smile, so that they can use their heart to feel the breath of God and the power it brings. It's time to come together. Let us come together as one. You and I, and share the love of Jesus Christ. We can make a difference. We can make a change. We can make the world a better place. We can make a difference. We can make a change. Why not? And that is the change that we are making. We are not just talking. We are making that change. We are making it happen. So do you know a man? They're asking you a question. Do you know a man who is in need of a helping hand? That's what they're asking. Or do you know anyone? Do you know any child that is in need of a helping hand? Can you get somebody get up when they fall? Not just physical falling. Maybe they don't have food to eat. Maybe they don't have clothes to wear. They don't have a blanket to cover in winter. What are we doing? This is exactly what this song is saying. A sister is sad, lost all that she had. We got to take the time. Some people have lost everything they have, maybe through natural disasters like tornadoes or landslides or earthquakes or whatever, or maybe through fire accident. Do you know anybody that has lost something like that? This is exactly what this song is telling us. Look around the world. Look around you. It will testify. Some have empty hearts. Some have hungry eyes. Do you hear that? Some have empty hearts. Some have hungry eyes. God can heal the suffering through our hands. When we bring our hands together, find compassion, take a stand. Take a stand. Teach the world to smile again. Let us teach our children to smile again. Feel the breath of God and continue to move forward. Together, we can make a difference. Very important. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I highly appreciate you guys. I want to give you guys an upload, and I want to extend greetings from my mother and my grandmother to all of you and my son, because all of them, they know about you. I talk about you guys to my family because that's the way it's supposed to be. We need to pray for one another. We talk to one another. And I always say, if you guys have anything that you think that you want to discuss with me, or maybe just maybe is to ask, if you are finding challenges in something, let us ask one another to see how we can help. But my website is soon going to be built. I am going to turn in the homework that the young lady that is going to help me is Emma's daughter, and build that website so that we can start doing something, not just waiting for Unpassive, but while we are waiting for Unpassive and working with Unpassive, we can start doing something at the background, right? Thank you guys so much. We've come to the end of today's webinar. Tomorrow is another beautiful day in the evening, but please, if you can, join or connect. And let us welcome Mr. Raj Damodar. He is on fire. You guys know him. He is a very talented and very inspiring man. So I'm really happy that he has accepted to come and bless the stage of One Global Movement and bless our children. Thank you guys so much. If you're going about your daily activity, I wish you the very best. I wish you success. And if you're going to bed, I wish you night. And let us be here again tomorrow if you can. If you cannot do it, do not force yourself. You have to weigh your options before you make that decision to attend One Global Movement. Thank you guys so much. And remember, let us teach our children to stay focused, stay encouraged, stay empowered, and always believe in endless possibilities. I love you all. Bye-bye.